up, everybody? No idea what that was. What's up, everybody? I'm back. I'm gonna do I need to work on my muscle definition. That's what I need to do. It's like Bugs Bunny over here. I tweeted out, and I put on Snapchat. I didn't put on Instagram. Not the point. I like to advertise on Instagram, but I want to give notifications on Twitter and Snapchat. So, you know, just be sure to have your accounts following my accounts, so that way you can be all up to date on literally everything. I posted on Twitter and Snapchat over the past weekend just saying that there wasn't going to be a video out on the weekend because I was waiting for during the week for this specific film review. And that is because Spider-Man Far From Home came out on July 2nd. I went to go and see that in IMAX. Finally, a Marvel movie in IMAX. I'm so happy I got to see it because every recent one that has come out has always been just like normal theaters. And it drives me insane, especially if they're in 3D. This one, we didn't end up going to see the 3D version of it, but it was still bomb AF. So, Spider-Man Far From Home, it's literally picking right up off of Avengers Endgame. Now, switch off of this if you've never seen Avengers Endgame because there will be spoilers for Endgame, but I'm going to make it not spoilers for Far From Home. So, click off now, fast forward, and just get to my rating, and yeah. Now that they're all gone, you, my fellow fan base of all of like 170 of you, I'm gonna talk to you because you are the Marvel diehard fans who've seen every single movie, except for maybe this one, for now. This movie is amazing. There's no other words to describe this movie aside from amazing or spectacular. I'm doing Spider-Man puns. You're welcome. This picks up immediately after Endgame, you know, facing the repercussions from Endgame, how certain characters ended up dying, how everyone's kind of adjusting to life after what they call the blip, which is everyone disappearing for 5 years because of Thanos and Infinity War, and then coming back in Endgame because it all ended up being reversed. And so everyone's kind of trying to adjust to life because there's people who disappeared who have to now repeat the grade that they were in, i.e. Peter Parker, Flash Thompson, MJ, Ned, like they all disappeared and they all have to now repeat and go back. But then there's people who were 11 years old who didn't disappear and now are in their grade, so they kind of have to adjust to knowing that. And like there's one scene in the movie, it's not a spoiler, it's literally just for comedic things, where someone in the school who disappeared and came back is now saying his younger brother is a year older than him. So he has to now adjust to the fact that he doesn't have a younger brother anymore. He is the younger brother now. So it's very weird. You've got Nick Fury, Maria Hill, who are trying to get Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, to help them deal with these issues called the Elementals, who are coming around in different parts of Europe and wreaking havoc and destroying things. They need the help of Mysterio. And I went in hoping for a huge character arc for Mysterio. Now, he didn't have a huge character arc. I'm warning you right now, he did not have a huge character arc. But, was I disappointed with his character? Not one bit. I thought his character was phenomenal. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job as Quentin Beck and as Mysterio. And I thought the way that they played up this version of him was fantastic. Because I did not see what they did coming. It's very vague. But again, I'm trying not to do spoilers for the movie. You have basically this whole huge team up. You know Peter Parker gets the Tony Stark glasses, and they're called Edith. and there is a special acronym about that, what each of those letters mean, so I'll let you watch the movie to figure that out. I thought it was a pretty funny little acronym joke thing that they did, so I enjoyed that a lot. But Peter's basically going through his head a lot, just thinking he's not good enough for the Avengers. He's not worthy enough to be the next Iron Man. And everyone's basically calling him the next Iron Man. He doesn't want that title because he can't live up to Tony Stark's reputation and whatever he did. So he gets super in his head and super self-conscious about everything. And he's super depressed because everywhere he goes, all he's seeing is Iron Man this, Iron Man that, pictures of Iron Man, references to him, and it's sad. And then he's teaming up with Mysterio and fighting all these elementals. If anyone has seen the old cartoons or has read the comic books, you know Mysterio's a villain. But in this movie, they're portraying him as a hero, which I thought was a very interesting take, and it's because of the whole multiverse theory that's going on that they also mention in the trailers. I'm not going to dive into that because things are very scientific, and I'm not a science person by any means. Now, they do touch on it, but then they explain it more in the movie, so again, go watch it if you want the full explanation about all of that. I mean, if you guys want like a full spoiler review, be sure to like comment saying that you want a spoiler review, and I will make another video like this filled with spoilers, because yeah, I don't mind doing that. But anyway, so they team up, they're fighting elementals, and just the graphics that they're using I thought was amazing. There was a lot of scenes that were actually like the green or the blue screen that I had no idea until, like, for example, the one scene in the trailer where you see Spider-Man basically get punched or pushed or whatever by the giant water elemental, and he goes flying back into like the barricades, and he's just soaked. Behind, through the holes of the barricades, that's all like a blue screen. Tom Holland literally posted that on his Instagram, showing that it was blue screen. And I thought they were actually like on location, but nope, they weren't. So I was like, that's kind of cool. All of this big battle stuff goes down. You have Mysterio and Spider-Man kind of just like chatting it up left and right. It's basically just buddy bonding, more or less, the entire time. And everyone's like, oh my god, Mysterio's like the new Spider-Man. And there's actually another thing, they come up with a new name for Spider-Man in his little black suit that he wears, which is hilarious, and I love it. And there's just a lot, I won't say a lot of twists, but there's definitely a sequence where it's like Spider-Man's hallucinating, and that can be probably a little bit sensitive for some viewers. Not the fact that it's gruesome, not the fact that it's going to send you into like a rage of depression or a rage of anger, but I feel like some people, if you're extremely susceptible to certain visuals, or not to say that there's like flashing lights and you're going to go into a seizure or anything, but it plays heavily with your head. And I was surprised that Marvel did this. I was kind of expecting them to do something that will play with your mind, considering the characters that are in this, but I was not expecting them to go this far, and there's a lot of good little nods to kind of other characters in the Marvel Universe, being in comic books, that is. There are flashbacks for other movies to kind of tie everything together. There are, as I said, references to comic books. A very specific one that I'll just say Walking Dead has been canceled for. And then there are 2 credit scenes. There's the mid-credits, and then there is a post-credits. Post-credit is just a little... It's not a fun thing. It's not like, you know, everyone at the end of Avengers was sitting around at a restaurant eating shawarma. Or at the end of Captain Marvel, where the cat threw up the Tesseract. It's not like a fun thing like that. It has a little bit of kind of context to the film and what they're setting up to the next. But at the same time, it doesn't. Because it's very, like... You have to, like, really, really look. And I do kind of want to go and see it a second time just to kind of, like, really examine that scene. But, like... It is a pretty good scene for that one, but the mid-credit scene is where it's at, because that is going to set up for the next Spider-Man film, which, if you do not know, rumor has it that Marvel wants to do about 7 or 9 more Spider-Man films. They have one already confirmed, I think, at least I saw a leak a month ago, and it showed the title of 2 different Spider-Man films. One being same kind of font as Far From Home and Homecoming. Then there was another one that was kind of like weird looking. Like the logo of Spider-Man was very much like the 90s cartoon or like the 60s cartoon shape. I was just like, this is interesting. I don't know if it's going to be like another Sony animation kind or if it's going to be a Tom Holland one. So I am looking forward to both of those if they are, in fact, real. But, like I said, do stay. There's a huge, huge cameo in the mid-credit scene, which I loved. Absolutely loved that this person came in for this scene. It was perfect. They couldn't have picked anybody else. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. So, go watch it, because I give this film like a 9.5 out of 10. That to me is almost, well, it is almost a perfect score, but basically if you get a 9 or a 10, perfect. You're a perfect film. I have a soft spot for Spider-Man. Everything Spider-Man is basically amazing. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. I don't care what you say. No one else can now be him. If he quits, Spider-Man needs to die out of the universe. I'm sorry, but he does. Because no one can do what Tom Holland does. Find me someone, I will still disagree with you. Find me someone who's a million times better than him. I will still be against you, because Tom Holland is, like, perfect as Spider-Man. That being said, go watch the movie. Again, comment below if you want to see a spoiler review, because I will make that. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you know when I post a new video. And just like it. Like this video, share this video, and I will see you next time on the next video. See ya. It's summer.
My life is a party, my home is the club. I party like a rock star, dance until I drop my life.